Oh my goodness! Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of our weekly Kaguya-sama discussion videos. Today we're here to talk all about this insane episode, but before we get into things, I do, as always, have to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter. At Matt87Eagle, at Bubba at Janame, at Urinary1, at DarkfirePlayer4, and at Sirius9752. Thank you so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Kaguya-sama video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, but before we do, like, comment, subscribe, support Hayasaka, best girl! Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this week's episode of Kaguya-sama. Why did I start by saying this episode was insane? Because this episode had a lot going on. Now, normally with Kaguya-sama, it's a lot of comedy, and don't get me wrong, there is a lot of comedy. This is a very funny episode. But at the same time, there's a lot going on character-wise and narrative-wise that really caught me off guard. The beginning was all about Hayasaka, so you know it was my favorite. Okay, well, it's not my favorite in this particular, episode, which I know the Hayasaka skit was not my favorite. I know, shock. But Hayasaka had the first skit, which again, I love the skit, but my girl got done kind of dirty. We'll get into it. Hurts my soul. The second one had me in complete shock. This is the insane part of the episode. The second skit is essentially I thought, I know I said last week and probably the week before as well, that I thought this was it. Season 2 is getting us with these moments where it comes so close. We get so close to a confession and then something happens. And this episode, I swear to you, again, I feel dumb because this happens week by week where I keep saying I thought this was it, but I really thought this was it. And the way out of it was of course so simple, and maybe that's why I didn't think about it because I'm just a big idiot, but the second skit is insane, and then you get the third skit, which is basically introducing us to Miko Ino, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the first skit, though. Hayasaka, best girl, but before anybody gets mad, Chika's also best girl, and Kaguya best girl, and Miko's growing on me. There we go, so I covered all my bases. Are we all in agreement that all the girls are best girls? Cool, let's go ahead and move on. And the same goes for the boys, by the way. Ishigami best boy, and Shirogane best boy. We all agree. Okay, moving on. So, Hayasaka rightfully opens this episode by calling Kaguya out. Now, I love Kaguya. You guys know this. She's my girl. But even Hayasaka is just bro, you had the sickness thing, you had the fireworks thing, you had the moon thing, and now, you still haven't, neither of you have confessed? Shit's sad, man. She just outright calls these two out, which I was shocked, because again, Hayasaka, I just don't expect this from Hayasaka. Been coming out of her shell a little bit more, and I like that. However, Kaguya pushing buttons. Kaguya in this first skit, I was like, girl, you tested my patience. Kaguya was a little bit mean in this first bit, but you can understand why, Hayasaka insulting her game, which admittedly, Kaguya has very poor game. But still, you don't like your game being insulted. I get it. But at the same time, it's also it's Shirogane. She's very touchy around Shirogane, and I get that. And Hayasaka was pushing buttons, but Kaguya pushes them buttons right back. But then Kaguya makes a mistake, well, almost a mistake, where she basically challenges Hayasaka. She says okay, well, let's see you do it. And Hayasaka's I wouldn't be able to do it in a day, but I could probably get him to confess to me, yeah. And Kaguya's oh, really? Then try it. And then she does, and then we get flirting in disguise, as it were, where Hayasaka basically says yeah, I'm Kaguya's maid, you might remember me, which is a little bit weird because later on in the episode in the second skit, she's nah, I don't know who you are, we've met before from school though, again, Hayasaka is a spy. She's got many faces, she's very good at what she does. But basically we have this scene where she's flirting with Shirogane in disguise, and it kind of worked for me, and I felt bad because I was it's sort of cute. If I was Shirogane, if I were Shirogane, that almost would have worked on me. Because honestly, high school me would have just said yes to basically everybody. So if somebody confessed like that to me, I would have said yes. But the other thing that I have to address is that they straight up used the words side piece. I'm sorry. Like, Hayasaka called herself a side piece. Girl, you are not a side piece. You are not a piece of nothing. You're a whole ass meal. Don't degrade yourself like that. You ain't no side piece. Like, and if you're a side piece, does that make Kaguya the bottom bitch? Why are we going here? Needless to say, the whole, like, I'll be 90% like friend and 10% girlfriend thing, I was like, Hayasaka making big plays, big brain plays. And I promise you, if he was not in love, that would have friggin' worked. But the boy's in love. And you know what? You gotta respect that Shirogane's like, I'm really sorry, but there's somebody I like. And everybody in that room knew who he was talking about. At this point, it's so blatantly obvious, even to each other, that, like, to me, I wasn't even surprised by that. I was just like, oh, wait, yeah, no, of course she knows that, and of course he would know that. Like, it's so blatantly obvious. But this does lead to the result of Hayasaka loses in the first skit of the day. And Hayasaka losing had me feeling so bad. That had me feel so bad for her, because, like, it was so embarrassing. But at the very least, she makes up for it in the second skit, where Hayasaka basically gets to, like, and she calls Kaguya out when Shirogane comes. I blame Hayasaka for that whole incident. In fairness, you can view that whole thing in two ways as well, because you could see it as Hayasaka getting even for Kaguya, making her feel embarrassed in the first skit, but you could also see it as Hayasaka going like, I am sick of you two, like, dancing around this subject. I'm getting the whole school involved, so you have to confess. One of you has to say something, and that's basically what happens, because Shirogane visiting the class, and then the whole school finding out that, oh, they're gonna have a secret rendezvous. And Kaguya immediately knows, like, oh shit, what have you done? Like, what have you done, President? And Shirogane is not really aware until he gets there and reads the room, or I guess courtyard, it's about to go down. And the whole school is watching. You know, the ship is top tier when the whole school gets involved to see them finally get together. That's how you know it's top tier. That's how you know it's triple S tier ship. And I kid you not, I screamed out loud when I realized, when he said, maybe this isn't that bad. Maybe it's supposed to be this way. I was like, oh my God! Like, I went insane. And then I immediately was like, Chadogane! I was right! The birth of Chadogane! And he blows it. Like, I literally, when he goes like, I was wondering if you would maybe help me with my campaign speech, I was like, oh, coward! Shiro coward! Chadogane is dead! Shiro coward lives! And I was so disappointed, because I was like, my boy, that was your time! You could have been such a Chad! But no, he instead just wimps out. And then Kaguya becomes Kaga-Chad. Chadguya. I don't know. Kaguya, like, has the most badass mic drop moment of the season so far. To quote my girl herself, whether it's about campaign speeches or anything else, yes, gladly. And she whispers that shit in his ear. Oh my God. That, I lost my shit. Like, that's the thing with Kaguya, right? Because I got hype. Like, I watched, like, the end of a big-time shonen battle. Like, I lost my shit like Goku and Frieza taking out Jiren in Super. I was so hype. And I was like, I got hype over a love confession. But it wasn't a confession, you know? Like, it wasn't technically a confession. And I agree that it's a tie at the end of the day. It's a tie. Because she doesn't confess, you know, like she doesn't lose, he doesn't win. It's a tie. And I feel like the series, like the confession will come with a tie. I don't think this is it, but this is as close as we gonna get for a while. At least I'm assuming. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be the end of the season. I don't know if there's gonna be a third season. I don't know what I do know is that was as close as we gonna get for a long time. My heart skipped several beats, and I wasn't even the one being confessed to. And then Chica too. Like, I didn't even talk about the fact that Chica's like, you chose her over me, President. Like, so because Chica thinks this is still just about asking her to help with speeches, and she's the only one not reading the room because she's Chica. But like, it was It was insane. It was easily the most hype moment of the season so far, and we're in a season where Tower of God exists, so explain that to me. And of course, we get the third skit of the day, the introduction to Miko Ino. And listen, okay, there are ways to introduce a character. One way is to introduce that character by having her call another character a burnout. Okay. Little Miss Princess, I'll have you know that when I was in high school, the burnouts were the nicest kids in the school. So screw you and your judgmental ass. Maybe it's just my Canadian self shining through, but I was like, burnout? Don't get me wrong, burnout is an insult. I'm just saying. Like the way she holds herself, I was like, ooh, we would not get along if I knew you in real life. But luckily you're an anime character, so I'm kind of rooting for you. So we get introduced to Miko Ino and her like assistant. I wrote her name down here because I didn't actually say it in the episode. Kobachi Osaragi. I'm gonna call her Kobachi until we actually find out what she wants to be called. So Kobachi and Miko, I'm all about it. These two, I genuinely thought that Miko was making plays. I thought she was making moves out here, cause like I had like when they introduced her as like the daughter of a high court judge, and she's part of the like what is it, like the basically just like she's straight-laced, like she's part of the straight-laced society. She was so straight-laced that I was like, oh, she's like the villain in like a high school comedy, like that. I mean, she kind of is when you think about it. But like, yeah, Miko's introduction, I was like, oh, she's evil. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would be the type of person that I would hate when in high school. Like, like I would avoid that person like the plague. So I was like, oh damn, she's evil. But then she has this really charming side when she sees Chika, and she's like, oh my god, you're Chika. Oh wow, blah blah blah. And I was like, wait, because this girl makes such a play that Shirogane gets nervous, right? And he becomes a straight up pillar man alongside Ishigami, and they are playing Pillarman to two of the most clueless Joe stars I have ever seen. And I say clueless Joe stars because Miko, like, if they're the Pillarmen and Miko's the Joe star, she is like the Jonathan of the Joe stars, because she claimed that Chika should be her VP. I will repeat that. She claimed that Chika should be her VP. When I heard that, I was like, you have a very different view on Chika than the rest of the planet. Because I love Chika, and you love Chika. Everybody loves Chika. Whether you want to admit it or not, everybody loves Chika. But the reason we love Chika is because she's chaotic evil. You know what I mean? Like, Chika don't play nobody's rules, and she likes mayhem. And she's not, like, she's on student council, yes. But she, like, as the VP, like, it's why everybody laughed when she said she should be like the president. The whole, like, I'll punch you in the face. Like, that whole thing. Chika's the best. I love Chika. But as VP, like, absolutely not. That is a recipe for disaster. And when she says, like, because Chika could speak 5 languages, I was like, oh, damn. Okay, like, that's fair. And she could play piano. I don't see what that has to do with being a vice president. And she has the most middle ground scores of the academy. You just want Chika to be VP so you can spend time with her. Like, that's what that is. I kind of like Miko. Like, I kind of like Miko. Like, because I was very much against her. And then I saw her geek out over Chika. And I'm like, oh, she's one of us. Okay, welcome. But, like, it was, I genuinely kind of, I was rooting for her, right? When she's like, I'm going to make Chika my VP. And Chika does the JoJo pose, kind of, like a very, like, limp wristed JoJo pose. And I'm like, wow, Chika did the whole face heel turn real quick. But then it becomes like a face heel face turn. Because I'm thinking, like, oh man, like, we're actually gonna get a battle for the Prez. Like, that's insane. No, because Mika's policies are ridiculous. Like, Mika, like, wants basically to turn the school into, like, a military school. Like, she wants everybody to be, like, super sophisticated and, like, everybody has to be, like, following, like, a specific dress code. All the boys gotta shave their heads and like, girls gotta have these crazy long skirts. And it is, like, everything that a teenager would be against. And I was like, oh my god, this poor girl's never gonna win. But for a second, I really thought, I was like, okay, I see you, Miko, okay, like, this is gonna be kind of fun. Nope. But at the same time, I wouldn't have been against it. That said, I look forward to Shirogane probably stepping in hot water at some point before we get the elections over with, because that's just Shirogane. Like, 100%, that's just Shirogane. I expect Shirogane to do something. I expect Miko to take advantage, but because of the OP, like, that's the thing, the OP kind of spoils it, but I have to safely assume Shirogane is going to keep the presidency. I mean, it is what it is. But, like, at the same time, Miko, I kind of like this new character. And I have to assume that this is also the character that people say Ishigami is going to get shipped with. It's either her or it's Kobachi. Kobachi. It's either her or Kobachi. So we'll see. I want to see my boy get a ship. I want my boy in a relationship. Because Ishigami, he's a good boy. He's also, like, kind of a dumb boy. But kind of, I mean, a really dumb boy. But he deserves love. So I want to see my boy get some love. And yeah, before anybody freaks out, yes, Chika does do a face turn, because when she sees what Miko's policy is, she immediately rips the paper and runs back, because she says, like, I can't betray my friends after that. So yeah, holy crap, what an episode. With that said, everybody, I'm going to wrap up today's video here. Question of the day today, did y'all scream at that pseudo confession? Let me know in the comments. And that's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then by all means hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below is a great way to help out this channel, as it pleases the almighty YouTube algorithm. So if you choose to do so, kudos to you. And if you're feeling extra supportive today, you can go ahead and check out all the links in the description. One goes to my Twitter, another one is to our Discord server, another one to our merch store if you feel like grabbing yourself a mug, and of course, our Patreon page. And speaking of the Patreon page, I do want to give a big thank you to those of you in the T Squadron who support this channel month to month. Let's go ahead and do the Earl Grey shoutouts. Izevi, Andrew W, Branson C, Bria Rose, Calvin A, Crowbar of Irony, Daniel G, Digger the Fox, Dominic G, Emily, Ionos, Urza, Ginkotaku, Godzilla Fan, No For Nothing, Maria T, Marshall B, Mater, Mirth Mouser, Cell, Shadow Creative, Stephen G, Sakochi, The Suavest Orange, Tristan G, and Veridon. Thanks so much for your continued support over on Patreon, everybody, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then be sure to check out the first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. That is a huge way to support the channel. And again, be sure to check out the other stuff in the Discord as well. Go join our Discord. It is now public. You can all join. Everybody can hop in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter if you want me to ramble at you even more. And until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube, and wash your dang hands.